you're just joining us, you're watching Morning Delight right here on Lagos Television. We're looking at media and good governance. It is believed that the media is the tripod, or plays a critical role in ensuring that the society moves smoothly, and of course it ensures that there is probity, there is accountability, and of course it serves as check for those who want to abuse power or subvert course of justice. It is also believed that critical check on state abuse of power or corruption, the media plays a role in actually nipping it in the bud or halting that process where people who are meant to provide public services or do public good don't subvert the cause of justice. The media plays a critical role, and we all know that. That can be overemphasized. But how can we ensure that what we've seen in other parts of the world, where the media holds government accountable, where media ensures that there is development in the society, holds sway, is also applicable right here in this part of the country. I've got a legal practitioner who also talks about the need for us to follow the course of law, rule of law, in the studio. Mr. Bosun Osifowora is a legal practitioner and of course a political analyst. It's a pleasure to have you join us.
My pleasure.
He's giving us a legal perspective to this. And of course we have a veteran journalist, and of course he's also a social commentator, Mr. Bola Wole. It's a pleasure to have you join us this morning.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
I have so many things people have said here about, but I just bring it home. We've seen, like in other climes, other jurisdictions, where the media can actually mold opinions, decide to shift thought process to either this particular person or this other person. It's like a tug of war between two people, but oftentimes it's about the cause for the advancement and the development of the society. How critical, how powerful? I know there's a bullet theory, but how powerful? I mean, can you put it in concrete terms? How powerful is the media in the course of developing a particular society?
Media is more than powerful, and the media is the between the governors. Between the governors and the governed. And I'll give you a very simple example. When I was coming, I was just thinking about it. The average person here, I say this with all sense of responsibility, do not like Donald Trump. They've never met him before. They've not seen him before. They don't even know how he emerged. But because of what they saw in media, and particularly how CNN beamed him to us, we just formed an opinion. And I can tell you 9 out of 10 people don't like him. That's the power of media. I mean, in this clan, I'm not talking about where it's from. That's the power of media. Media shapes people's opinion about things. And over time, any serious government knows that you don't play with the media. And at the same time, even dictatorships, over time, they found ways to romance the media. You know, they first come out, try to coerce them, and at the end of the day, they know that whichever way, you have to strike a balance, because they can make or mar you. To some people, Abacha was a good man. To a lot of people, they have their opinion. It's all about how the media puts somebody in your face. A good one. Let's come. When the whole NSAS report thing came up, you know, people they have their own mind about things. But immediately they said, there's going to be a white paper, everybody soft pedal. Like, let's wait for this. That's the power of media. People could run to town with that singular report if they've not told them, okay, another thing is coming, another dimension is there to this. So these are the things that the media does. So it's you love or fight the media as a government at your own peril. That's the way it is.
Mr. Abolawale, you've substantial part of your life. This is what you've done.
Yes.
You're a columnist. You are an editor. Perhaps can you just take us through those moments where, by virtue of what the media has done, government took decisions, either positively or negatively, or people began to see a particular idea as a good thing for them or not?
Yeah, thank you very much. Like my colleague has said, the media is first and foremost meant to inform. You are to inform, and when you are informing on both sides. You are informing government, you are informing the people. You are informing the people what the government is doing. Policies are rolled out by government, but they can't go. This is not the day of town criers. Somebody must tell the people what the government is doing or is planning to do. That's the media, informing the people about policies, whether it is good, whether it is bad. But the way they now shape it, like he has said, it depends whether they want to shape it positively, they want to shape it negatively. And then, of course, the media is also expected, also informs the government. This is the thinking of the people. You want to do this, this is going to be their reaction. This is what they feel. So on both sides, the media informs. And then the media also educates. You see, it's not just telling people what is happening, they analyze it. Whether it is right, whether it is wrong, they go into the library, they go back into time and they tell you, and they bring information that you don't know, they give to you, they educate you. These are the e-money, these are the advantages of e-money, these are the disadvantages of e-money. Whether you should be vaccinated or not, these are the advantages and disadvantages. This is what people are saying. They educate you. And then they entertain. The media also entertain. So you, in the way they present their stories, in the various angles they bring to the stories, in the various sections of the paper they have, you have sports, you have entertainment, you have cartoons, you have business, you have foreign affairs, you have all this. So the media also entertains the people. So they inform, they educate, then they entertain. So in doing this, the media definitely must step on toes. You step on toes of the government because you say certain things that government does not like. You analyze some of their policies in a way that they don't like. They say you are, they have this thing they call destructive criticism, but they say they prefer constructive criticism. So anytime you do things that, you say things that are against them, or you subject their policies or their statements to scrutiny, to critical analysis, they don't like it. So over time, that has been the relationship between the government and the media. And also between the media and the people. There we find some section of the media, the people will say, oh, these ones are biased, these ones are serving the interests of government, this one is serving social interest. So if you talk to people, they will tell you the media that they think is constructive, that is objective. They will tell you the media that they think that is pandering to government interests, or pandering to the interests of big business, or pandering to the interests of one politician or the other. So you discover that there is really no media out there that everybody will say that they agree that this media is objective. And there is no media out there that everybody will also say they agree that this media is subjective. So it depends on who is passing the judgment. And it also depends on situations and circumstances. You discover that there are some situations that they will heal one media organization. There are other circumstances where they will say, oh no, put in that. So it depends. So these things vary. Essentially, the relationship between government and the media, from our own perspective in Nigeria, from where we started, is adversarial. You see, yeah, the media in Nigeria is supposed to hold government accountable to the people. That's what the Constitution says. And you find out that there are few government officials that want to be held accountable. So when somebody, they are the watchdog. That's what I said. They are the watchdog. Somebody is watching you. There are certain things you are doing you don't want people to know, and the press brings it out for everybody to see. and you can't divinate it like that. So that is the historical perspective of the media. But as the situation evolves, a lot of people are now saying that government, especially from the side of government, that government and the media should be partners in progress. I think between these two extremes, adversaries and partners, you have to strike a balance.
Okay, I know you are the odd man out from this conversation, but let's look at the historical perspective from the time we began our journey as a nation till now. Would we say that the media has performed its job creditably well to advance the cause of the society? Or can we put it the other way around? Where we find ourselves, is it a function of the fact that the media hasn't done its job properly?
No, the media has been fantastic. Though, I mean, you know, they say that the largest room in the world is a room for improvement. There's always a room for improvement, but the media has. If you look at the media, I mean, you're talking history now. If you look at historically, the media played its role, you know, with the politicians in securing independence. Then independence came, then the military took over. I mean, we've had benevolent military leaders, we've had, you know, I mean, people who talk about Muritala and tell you that he was the benevolent dictator. Meanwhile, we've had some other ones that look like these ones are, you know, straight from hell and all that. But you saw that even when all these different regimes came on, they had their hold on the media. Some came and practically stifled the media, but with that 1% air coming into the media, they were able to breathe their way out and toppled, you know, I mean, used everything possible to get those governments out and ushered in what the people want. I mean, if you look at the role of the media during, let's use a common one, I mean, the facts are there. During Abacha, you saw there was practically a clampdown on everything, on the media. The media suffered, you know, the most amongst all the institutions, and you find that they were grinding through serious hardness to just make sure that, okay, we still give the people what they want. And at the end of the day, you find that these regimes will come and go, but the media is always there, and the media is the influencing force that kind of mobilized the people to get to where we are today in bringing about this democracy and stabilizing it. The media has played a fantastic role. I mean, somehow military rule is not in reckoning, as it were, and all thanks to the media. That's one. Then even when the democratic government came in, you find that with the whole shouting, puffing and everything, people have been able to, you know, call on the government, like, change this thing, change this part. And then, you know, then also came, once upon a time, what we had was just NTA and a few, you know, print outfits. But from pushing and pushing and pushing, you found that they opened to private entities, and I mean, we have variety, and we're the better for it. The people, the society is the better for it as it stands. Now, also, you look at it that, like he said earlier about, you know, influencing and bringing the policies of the government to the people. There are things that the government does that people will frown at. It's the media that gives them the feedback. And, you know, I mean, like, as it stands now, every government, they have, like, their own, no, like in every cabinet, you have an information commissioner or minister, and it's the go-between. He may come out and say the things that the government likes, but at the same time, in their own inner caucus, you go and tell them that this is the feedback I'm getting, you know, it's not good. And that's why you find that all of a sudden, government will just come and change certain policies. It's because they are feeling the cry of the people, and it's only the media that can take this. Then the advent of social media has changed the dynamics. Gone are the days where you sit in your house, you just do anyhow, or you sit in your office. But these days, with the smartphones and everything, everybody is now, there's a journalist in everybody. Fine, that one too has his own downside. So I know we'll get there, but there's a journalist in everybody, and you know that, okay, whatever you do in secret may be out there, and it will go viral. and it can determine whether you will still be on this seat or not. So everybody is kind of, you go to, I mean, I'm a lawyer, you go to police stations now, or even police commands, they won't tell you to drop your phones outside because they don't know what you can do with the phone, and they don't know. I mean, that's the power of media. Whichever way you want to look at it, whether private or public media, you know, you just know that this thing can go out. So certain institutions don't allow for you to bring certain gadgets in before you get them in trouble. So it's a way of keeping people on their toes. It's a way of, so over time you look at it that the media has helped. The media has brought succor to our life, and the media has held the leadership, I mean, put them on their toes and make them accountable to us, though there's still room for more. But I mean, so far it's been fantastic.
You talked about the adversarial part, and of course the partners in progress part as well. But let's look at the issue of agenda setting. Have we set agenda enough? That's one of the theories of the media. Have we set agenda enough for us to advance the cause of growth and development enough? I just want to do like an overview of the media now. Have we done enough? Or we're a function of how the system has dealt with us?
We have done something. Whether it is enough is another thing. And you see, there are two obstacles. The first obstacle is that of finance. A media outfit is first and foremost a business organization. It is if it can continue in business that it can continue to function as a media organization. We have so many municipal houses, television stations that have gone under. They are no longer there because they couldn't sustain their financial capabilities. They were not sustainable. They didn't make enough money. They didn't have enough financial backbone, and then they went under. Now, setting an agenda is very costly, very, very costly. When I started my journalism with Sketch in Ibadan, we tried to set agenda. We tried this agenda setting with a community reporting. So they divided into 4 groups. So we were going into the rural areas, reporting problems in the rural areas, reporting potentialities in the rural area, so all the resources that can be harnessed, the problems of the people, the energies of the people we were reporting. But it's very costly. You have to put vehicles on the road, reporters, photographers, you have to fuel these vehicles, the reporters have to stay in the hotels and things like that, and we were doing that all over the Lobo states, Oyo, Ogundo, and things like that. After about 3 months, the organization said it could no longer sustain it because finances were not coming. Even though it was good, they liked it, people liked it, and that was during the era of the military. The military governor said it was okay, they liked it, but where is the finance? The finance was not there, so they had to stop it as well. Then another problem you have with agenda setting is that people will come after you when you set agenda. Government will come after you, individuals will come after you, interest groups will come after you, and the easiest way to get the media is to attack your means of finance. Those of them who have adverts to give will stop giving you adverts. Government will decide that your paper will no longer be patronized. They don't buy you in their offices. They don't give you adverts. So you will be forced to review your agenda that you have set. remember when,
agenda review.
Yes. Remember when Guardian set the agenda of simply Mr. You saw what happened? Simply Mr. Everybody is Mr. Now they had a problem, and they called Rotimi Williams of blessed memory to come. I said, no, if I am going to be your lawyer, you can't address me as Mr. I'm chief. So they had to drop that agenda for Rotimi Williams to become their lawyer. You see how it works? So agenda setting is easier in climes where the media has a lot of financial independence, where a lot of people buy. These days, how many people buy newspapers? In times past, people could buy, a single person can buy 3, 4, 5 newspapers. How many people are buying newspapers now? How many copies are the newspapers selling? So sales now cannot sustain any newspaper. So it is advert. And the advertisers now, they call the church. You can't want an advert. I write columns for 2 newspapers. And I also interact with a lot of media houses as a media consultant. There was a media house that told me, sorry, we are pursuing a contract. so please. Not now, not this time. There was another one that said, please, this Anambra election, don't say anything on Anambra election. You see, yeah, because, so if you have set an agenda, and then the interest of the paper, the sustainability of the paper clashes with your agenda, like you said, there will be an agenda review. So another problem that we have along that line is follow-up. You can set an agenda, follow-up. You see, the media will disclose a lot of things, will reveal a lot of things. They will follow a lot of issues, but up to a point, it will fizzle out. How many controversial issues have we followed to the very last? Number one, when I was editor, we had a desk like that. But when you put about 3-4 people on a desk like that to do follow-up, first week, second week, third week, no story is coming from them. The management will say, why are we sustaining these people? Paying salaries, giving them money, they are traveling here, traveling there, going after stories. 1 month, 2 months we have not seen. And then you say that you want exclusives. Exclusive don't come in here. You have to wait for exclusive. You have to go around. It takes time and it takes patience. It takes money. And then the media houses just say that, no, we don't have the resources to put on this. So the major problem of agenda setting is not that the media themselves are not willing. Though we have the issue also of compromise. See, some people can compromise and some people are not interested. Some people, you can give them a job to do, they go there and they go and negotiate and get things for themselves. But the major problem really is that of finance and the way the media in Nigeria is structured. The very few media houses in Nigeria have financial capability to be able to do that kind of thing.
I just got a signal now that we should wrap. I don't know. I thought we just started. We'll just ask a few questions. Okay. I'll just give you two of you just perhaps a minute each to say how can we move this conversation forward because I know how it played out in the US, especially during the elections, and how a particular media organization said this is what we want to do as far as this is concerned. This is our candidate, and of course the two distinct chose sides. Can that happen in this country?
Well, he alluded to
you just have 30 seconds.
He alluded to the fact that finance plays a major role, then also risk management. Because some of those people who go and cover certain stories, for example, they have insurance. I don't know if you do. I don't know if organizations, media outfits actually insure their people. So there's a level to which you know, like they say in normal parlance, I can't come and kill myself. Because if you look at it that I'm putting in so much, what do I get out of this thing? At the end of the day, you are human. So whatever you're pursuing, if you know that, okay, this thing will give me a name in the end, or this thing will secure me in the end, you will want to see it to a logical conclusion. So it's going to be very hard to put your head out and say, let me get to the end of this thing, when you know that you don't have what it takes, you don't have the resources, you don't even have the go-ahead of your organization into this thing. So it's going to largely affect media. So far, people have tried. People who have put their necks, put their lives online. I mean, we've seen journalists have died, trying to get stories, trying to get scoops and all those things. But in the end, the human part of you will speak out and say, is it worth it for me? What is in it for me? That's what determines how far people will want to go. And that's how far media will go in this society.
So just sticking our one.
Yes, our mentality, our orientation is very important as a people. Orientation of those in government, orientation of those in business, orientation of those in the media, orientation of the ordinary people. A former US government said, if I am asked to choose between government and the media, I will choose the media. That is, I prefer that we don't have government, we have media, than that we have government, we don't have media. Do our government people here, do they have that same orientation? If you ask them, they will prefer, is that not all the media law, all the hate speech, everything? They don't want the media. But they don't have the orientation, they don't have the mentality to understand that they are working against themselves, they are working against society. It is when we all recognize that the media is in our own interest to have a vibrant media, it's in our own interest to have a free media. That's why America is called the free world, because they have a free media. Until we understand, instead of running there, until we make our own society to be as free as the US, we sustain the media, we make sure that the media is free, we make sure that it's our interest to have a vibrant media. It is then that we will begin to talk about media and good governance and development.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bola Bolawole, for joining us this morning. Mr. Bosun Osifowora,
Thank you.
it's a pleasure to have you join us. Yeah. Well, the ball is in our court, actually, and of course, I do know we didn't even get to talk about media ownership. We didn't get to talk about social media. Well, this conversation continues. But one thing he said that I actually took from this is, for us to have a better society, media must function properly. For me, when you see something, many thanks. Of course, tomorrow Morning Light returns, of course, bright and early. Hopefully, my partners will be here to help us make this conversation more vibrant and boisterous. For me, when you see something, you say something, and of course, do something. I am Joshua Murakinyo. Have a great day.